Oh,
So fancy.
dude.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
We're
and
fired up.
We are fired up.
We are fired up.
We got gimmicks. We got intros.
all the things.
Yeah, dude. Man, so it is crazy this time of year. It's like I feel everybody ready to downshift.
I was going to just ask you, what's the biggest mistake you see all the agents making right now?
Downshift.
And what does that mean?
It's if I were to do like the shortcut answer, I would say it's give up.
Yeah.
It's like literally like, oh, we just check out now
People
until
are like, yeah, it's been a tough year. Next year I'm going to whatever. And you're like, it's September.
Yeah, we still got Q4, baby.
It's amazing that people like it is. And I've had that mentality, I'm sure, at some point in my life, but it's so easy to go like, why not just set your goals from like today to 12 months from today? Right. But like, so many people are like, this wasn't my best year. Next year's going to be awesome. It's like, why would you unconscious? And I think a lot of it is unconscious, right?
I do too.
Like they unconsciously stop doing lead generation. They unconsciously stop following up aggressively. All those things begin to happen. And I'll tell you what, like the fourth quarter is not going to be phenomenal for them.
Nope.
But then, man, the stuff you do, especially in October, right? October, November is what feeds your January and February.
Yes, because it's it's the old adage about like you need right now business.
Right.
Let's keep the lights on. Let's get some groceries. But you also need future business.
Yes.
And that sort of like plate spinning and the juggling act or whatever is one of the reasons why I think everybody says, "Oh, school's back in."
100%.
Put it in low gear.
When they said all summer that, hey, once the kids are back in school, then I'm gonna give her, right? Like hey, then I'm gonna get after it.
Right.
It's so interesting, and I think that right now so many people they've got this mindset that like, oh well, there's seasonality. I keep hearing this. Oh, this is typically a whatever season. It's like, there's still way more homes selling than you need to sell, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
You're choosing you're choosing to ride the market. When the market goes up, it takes you with it. When the market goes down, it takes you with it. So it's like, hey, if you want to get out of seasonality, you just need to do different things. So if you're seasonally low in December, then maybe you need to do something different.
Yes, and like you said, set the table for December in September.
Yes,
right
now.
And so like I'm one of those weird workaholic, like so all of my character defects or whatever are channeled into workaholism because it's the only thing, versus alcoholism where it's like, hey, if you're falling down drunk all the time, people frown on that. However, if you work 80 hours a week and do stuff, well, that's encouraged. And it's also I would have guys that are new in recovery or whatever. They're like, I have low self-esteem. It's like, yes, of course you do. Your life is a dumpster fire. Yeah. And it's like, but to get self-esteem, do esteemable acts.
Dude, that's magic right there. Say that one more time for the people in the back.
To build your self-esteem, do esteemable acts.
Yes.
And now what that translates to you as an individual, well, that's your homework, not mine.
Yeah.
But I do know that working is a way to... There's another one. Move a muscle, change a thought.
Absolutely.
So like if you're going to sit and brood over just whatever, fill in the blank bullshit or whatever, odds are you're probably not going to solve it.
And that self-esteem thing is so huge. And people are like, I have low self-confidence. And to your point, it's like, of course you do. Like, you've broken more promises to you than anyone else has ever done, right?
Oh my God, yes.
So it starts by not making this grandiose commitment. Like, hey, tomorrow I'm going to the gym for 5 hours in perpetuity. It's like, take a breath. But it's like, I'm going to drink a glass of water every morning. I'm going to do 10 push-ups. I'm going to make 5 phone calls, whatever. But like start making commitments and keeping small commitments to yourself, and then grow from that. Right? Yes. Nobody ever built self-esteem from reading enough Instagram memes. You know what I mean? Like you can all get a shot of adrenaline for 2 seconds, but you watch enough hustle porn, whatever it is. Like, I've got this. Freaking break through the wall. But start with little things. Start with little things. Like I'm going to walk for 5 minutes. I'm going to do 10 minutes of this. Like just start there. And then, tell you what, that's such a huge thing because you've lost faith in yourself.
Yep.
And people are like, they're as if like I lost faith in myself. Like they should just snap their fingers. Like, no, you actually did. Like you did. Like you actually did screw that up.
Yeah,
right? Like this
happened.
isn't hugs and high five time.
Yeah. And there's that thing of, like you said, I want to make up for lost time right now.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm going to cram 6 months of whatever into tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then you've set yourself up for failure.
Yes.
And hey, let's just throw another log on the self-esteem fire.
Yeah.
Because now you suck at the thing you were going to make up. And it's like, that is one of the Jordan Peterson things is like, make your bed, straighten your room.
Start.
And you know what's funny is, so I'm leaving this morning, and so we did a remote live from Keller Williams DPR, but I needed a long internet deal, long internet cable, and so I just tore one out of my home setup where it was from my office all the way to the living room or whatever.
Yes.
But the result was, it looks like a bomb went off in here because I needed that RJ45 cable right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I need to tidy my room because it's like I'm stepping over shit, and it's like, I'm the only one here. There isn't anybody coming behind me.
Yeah.
But that whole thing. So that's my weekend is I'm going to tidy up a little bit.
There you go.
And the idea of start small, and do things where you can just check the box.
Yes, and it's like, I think the other thing people underestimate is like you had a 200-foot boat that you've driven the wrong direction for 2 years, whatever it is. Like, it's going to take a minute to turn it around.
Yeah,
and then it's going to take, we should start, but it's going to take a second to get. And a lot of people, especially there's some people coming to coaching, and I can feel it. Like, they're looking for this Hail Mary, and it's like, you're trying to stop this freight train on a dime. Like, it's not trying
to make a hard left.
Yeah,
in an ocean liner.
You're gonna flip and crash. So start, and that was my big thing, especially when I got divorced a couple years ago. It's like, just do things I'm proud of, just do the next right thing, and start by keeping small commitments to yourself. That's how you're going to build self-confidence. That's how you're going to build that momentum is going to come from that. So,
and what you said about, you don't realize that you have been the biggest letdown to you.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, if a lot of times this to tie into recovery again, a lot of times somebody will have the realization like, my inner monologue sucks.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh my God, if somebody talked to me like I talk to myself, I would beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, how do we undo that? Well, first you got to know it's there.
Yep.
And then it's like, do esteemable acts.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing, move a muscle, change a thought. So, sitting around just like, everything sucks, everything sucks. It's like, well, yeah, that's really, but let's go ahead and figure out how many times we can either worry about something, get mad about something, or regret something and fix it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no retroactive causality to fix. It's like, well, if I just feel bad about what I've done long enough.
Yeah. Well, and people are like, I just don't believe myself. And I'm like, because you I believe in who you can become. Let's get clear on that vision.
Yes.
And yet you are going to need to put some points on the board. You're going to need to go get some credit with yourself.
And take some shots.
Start with the shots. But I love you said those three things. I think those are huge, right? Like, if I want to change my state, it really comes down to three things, I believe. It comes down to, like, first off, like, your body. Like, if you're sitting like a depressed person, like, it's hard to be really excited. You know what I mean? It's like, what's my body doing? I probably need to go for a walk, stand up, move a little bit. I get, like you said, move a muscle, right? So like what's my physical state? And the second thing is, what am I focused on? And the cool thing is, you can change your focus that fast. I can change my focus with a simple question: what's good today? What could I do? What is possible? Right? You can change your focus that fast. So change your focus. And then the third thing is, what words am I using? Right? So you get people that are focused on what's wrong. They haven't moved their body. They're sitting in a depressed state, and then they're describing it in a really terrible way, right? And the words become the paint you use on a canvas that create your life. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is terrible, this is terrible, this is terrible. It's like, okay, it's probably going to stay that way, right? So like, but you can, if you can get up, move for a second, right? Ask yourself a powerful question and then start describing it in a different way.
I want to take it back to one of yours that I use constantly is the intention and reflection. It's like, okay, yes, of course, everything right now sucks objectively or whatever. Let's go ahead and all buy into that.
Sure.
Now what?
Right. And
because it's like, that's the thing I would tell, somebody that comes to me like new in recovery. It's like, oh man, everything. It's like, yeah, dude, you've been drinking around the clock for like the last 7 years. Of course, everything sucks.
Yeah.
That's not a business model. No.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yes.
It's like, okay, we've established the baseline of everything sucks.
Yes.
Now what? You're just going to curl up and die? You're just going to roll over? What are we doing?
Yeah.
You're going to drive off the cliff? You're going to keep going? And then that sometimes and often will snap them out of it, where it's like, well, it's like, okay, well, yeah, get pissed.
Get pissed off.
Yeah, do something.
Cool.
And the idea that
I'd rather have you angry than depressed.
Yes.
At least we're moving up the chart, right? Right?
Yes,
Isn't that funny?
yes.
Like let's get ticked off of this.
Well, and the two times in my life that I've had the most actual quantifiable momentum forward was fueled completely by spite.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like
absolutely.
chip on shoulder, resentment, inner fire, burning, pissed off, going to show so-and-so about such and such.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, you start doing the work, whatever that is, even though I hate that phrase, do the work. Well, that's different for everybody, but it
really
applies.
is.
But if you actually take action and, like you said, small, verifiable, and you move forward, all of a sudden you are now building on a foundation that really didn't exist.
Correct.
But the assumable acts will give you esteem. And then the other thing is you can't stay pissed forever.
Correct.
Turns out.
Yeah.
It's like, I tried, but it turns out you can't.
No, well, and like you said, I think it sounds so small, but take the advice you would give somebody else. And for a lot of people, like they want to build a wall, and like it's just one brick at I know it sounds so trite, but it's like one brick a day. You know what I mean? The 1 brick a day is like, for some people, it's like I put pants on. I'm like, that's where they have to start. You know what I mean?
I got off the couch.
Absolutely, right? Like, but that's okay. It's like, and talk to yourself and begin to get clear on like who's the you 3 years from now that you want to grow into, and then it's like, man, what would that person do, right? But like get really attached to that vision, that picture, and it kind of gives you a light to work towards.
The other thing is, so it's like there's that element of okay, everything sucks, blah blah blah, and then it's usually a place where it's difficult to have faith in anything.
Absolutely.
And so I'm a dyed in the wool agnostic just by nature and somewhat nurture. But one thing that I do know now is that faith also for me becomes a math problem.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, if I've survived X this number of times without, catastrophic whatever, well, now I know I can do, like if I've done it 17 times, odds are I can do it at 18th time.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can ascribe whatever you want to that, but the faith that I can is built on that I did.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes the faith is like, even if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be resilient. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to whatever, so I think that is
and
huge.
In most cases, they're not going to kill you.
Yeah. Like worst case scenario. Yeah.
Right. And okay, and if they did, well then problem solved. You know, you've got other things, or everybody else has something to worry about.
Yeah.
Your problems are solved. But even now, so like,
all right, so let's go through this. So this is, there we go. This is beautiful. So last week we talked a lot about like who we should hire and things like that.
Yes.
Here's one of the things I find is interesting, especially with the leaders out there. So if you're leading anybody, these apply, even if you're leading yourself. But like, what am I holding people to? Like, what are the standards or what are the expectations? So there's three levels of this. So first is, I think that expectations are 100% on you as the leader. Like, it's your job to set the expectations. Here's what I expect. Here's what winning with me looks like. Mm-hmm. By the way, I love that phrase. You've heard me say it 15 times, but like, I know you want to win. Here's what winning looks like. Great way to give feedback. But I believe that setting the expectations is in the standards is 100% up to you as the leader. Like, don't expect the people you're leading to set those, right? So are they clear? The second thing is skills. This is where people start to get weird. I have so many leaders that feel guilty because they didn't give enough. They're like, I should have trained them better. I should have done more, right? And in most of those cases, they have given them everything, right? Like, they have given them the world, right? And they're like, yeah, but I could have also, and they're thinking of like these random extra, and I'm like, I get it, but you succeeded with a percentage of what you're giving them.
Very
right?
narrow. Yeah.
So when I think about skills, I think it's 50% on the team and 50% on the team member. Meaning I should train you and teach you and everything else, and you should also go read a book. like there's also the internet.
Right.
Like, go watch if you want to get better at calling expireds. Like, we can work on that, but you should also go watch 400 videos.
Yes,
watch Colton Lindsay and I role play expireds from 7,000 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, you got to take responsibility.
And there's also the thing about, you're going to learn more from doing it 100 times than reading 1,000 books.
Yes.
It's like, read a book on push-ups.
Yeah.
And do 100 push-ups.
And do 100 push-ups.
Let's see which one,
So I think way too many leaders take on way too much responsibility for that.
Well, and so like right now, my thing is, going back to the workaholic thing or whatever, it's like, okay, season changed, like quote unquote selling season is over. So it's like, okay, let's drum up some business. Let's do some, and so when we first got here, it was like, okay, well, I like the idea of, I have this massive affiliate network and there's no shortage of title companies in that network. And it's like, what if, market is different, agents are struggling, a lot of, and this has been in every market every year, there comes a time when a listing has been on the market for a while and it's like, I have to justify my existence or they're going to drop me.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, how about we plan on that? Now that days on market is a thing and it's going to remain a thing.
So they have a motivated client, but they need to do some sort of refresh, some sort of whatever.
And so like, how about we bake that in on the front?
I think you should come in with a cape. Like, you guys should maybe wear a cape. Like, it's been 40 days on market. Rick's here. You know what I mean?
Or like I bust you like Kool-Aid.
Absolutely. Yes. Or like you land on a little glider. You know,
dude.
you get launched from 2 blocks away and you just like land in the front yard. Like, we've got this.
Dude, I like that. That would go. That would
Relaunch
actually. That would give me
ready.
some. Yeah, and then the idea of okay, well, let's plan on a marketing campaign with the days on market factored in up front.
Yes.
So it's not an all hands on deck, fire alarm, DEFCON 4
Correct.
at day 47.
Yeah.
You know, we already, we expected this.
Yeah.
And if the agent could actually lead with that, like, you know, days on market are this is the average here, and then use the data to tell the story.
Yes.
Don't like tap dance around, you know, like, but that won't happen with us. And it's like, oh yeah, clearly not. But lean into that.
Yeah.
With the idea being like, okay, well, let's blow the doors off.
Yeah.
And have a marketing campaign that takes all of that into consideration. And worst case scenario, you it sells early.
Yeah.
And you have a bunch of content for your next listing presentation.
For everything else. Absolutely.
Yes. And the idea too that I came up with, you know, like I said, I've more than my share of title company friends, where it's like, okay, well, what if we bake in a big marketing campaign and we work it to where pay at closing, or like 50% up front and pay at closing. So that way everybody is.
Well, I think what's beautiful is like you adjusting your plan and taking into account like agents' needs as well. Because there's so many agents right now that they're not adjusting their strategy or their plans. Like, we're in a different market, different problems, and you're looking at your agents going like, hey, they still want to do this stuff, but they're not getting paid right away. So like, how do we adjust this to make it work for them based on the actual market?
Yeah, and to be like, hey, I've been doing this for a minute, you know, and my clients are my friends, you know, love them to death, and it's like, okay, well, let's all have a skin in the game.
Yes,
and
I like that.
I'm going to assume that you're going to do your kick-ass agent job, and then likewise, we will do our part of the heavy lifting on the content side. But now everybody's invested in selling the house. Versus, and you know, there's my competitors out there or whatever, or our competitors are a lot of times just a dispatcher. They just send a random photographer, you know, whomever, and they go and they do their thing, and that's it. And it's like, okay, well, how about we get a little bit more
well, that's the one thing that AI can't do, is have the relationship.
Exactly.
In the sense.
Yes.
And AI is going to get better and better. But I mean, you can also remember like, hey, when you did this at this house like 6 houses ago, that was really cool. Let's try that again here, right? It's like you're in it with them, and you both have a vested interest in this thing selling. Yes.
And to that, I have one of my absolute favorite rock stars is coming in on Monday to kind of brainstorm around all of this, you know, where it's like, okay, here's our essentially like a drip campaign. Here's our upfront, coming soon, just listed, whatever, and then here's our day 15, day 30,
and you
day
need 45. To have a full plan for that. Absolutely. Yes. And the other thing too is like if you aren't willing to, I mean, we talk a lot about Brad and Alan and I talk a lot about this, but like if you're not willing to write a $3,000 check, as like, hey, here's my bet that this is going to sell.
Yes.
Like if you're not willing to do that, you probably shouldn't take the listing.
Right.
Because like you need to make sure you're working with motivated people and you have a plan that they're willing to get on board with. And so I like have a plan, make sure they're going to get on board with the plan, and then off to the races.
Absolutely. And exactly what you said, where it is no longer the thing of like, oh, you just signed the listing agreement and then you get free money.
Yeah.
You know, because that's kind of you know, we had artificially depressed rates for years, and it literally was free money. And so I think now that we're not in a down market, we are in adjusted and calibrated market.
Yes.
You know, so it's not buyers and it's not sellers.
No.
It's the market.
Yes, correct.
And so obviously if you're in an area that is super on fire as far as desirability goes, well, that's always going to sell. You know, but if you're an outlier in the hinterlands or whatever, it might take a minute.
Absolutely.
And the further out you go now you're going to be in a fist fight, cage fight, like two cats in a sack with a builder. You know, so it's like, okay, you've got your pre-existing home versus new builds that are freaking out and they're giving away the farm. So like, okay, gonna get a little creative, or gonna have to, or like you said, just give away sign away that $3,000.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's where, you know, this ties into, you know, it could tie into ourselves, but also our agents, right? It's like, am I leading my agents? Am I setting clear expectations and standards for them? Are they also skilling up at the same time, right? Like, are they getting better, you know, while we're doing this and learning how to do things?
Like you said, read a book, you know, do a little bit on your own as far as stylistically goes, because everybody's different.
I guarantee you people like Cruz and everything else, like they're doing the work outside of just what you're telling them.
Yes.
And that's what you're looking for.
Yes.
And then drive. So the third one is drive. And I believe that drive comes from the person. I believe you either have some internal motivation or you don't. And it's exhausting to drag someone. And I see so many leaders that see potential in people, but they have all the drive in their people, and they drive. I think we all need re-inspiration sometimes.
Yes.
Right? Like there's all times we've had a bad week and we need like the pat on the back, the hug.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm having to drag people, that's not okay. So like drive has got to come from that person. And if they don't have drive, you are not going to impart that on them for a long period of time.
Drive is not a learned behavior.
Correct.
There's something about it where, whether it's nature, nurture, or whatever, like I said, I can easily see where I transpose my isms into like just workaholism.
Right. Yeah.
But there's also that thing of, I don't know if you would call it like satisfaction or accomplishment or something where it's like, I made this, you know, like, or like, I mean, we're sitting in here and it's just like, I still freak out when I come in here.
It's awesome. It looks better and better every week, by the way. But like with leaders, it shouldn't be carrot or stick. It should be they want it.
Right.
Right? Like carrot stick's kind of fun, right? And it'll work for a moment. But man, the carrots get old. There's only so many carrots to give. Right. And stick is exhausting.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
On everybody.
So it's like throw away carrot or stick, and it's like they should want it. They should want to be able to make enough money to take care of their family. They should want to be able to do good. Like that should come from within. And then the last thing is goals, right? When it comes to goals, I believe that setting goals is 25% on like you as the leader or the team, and then 70, especially this is mostly for salespeople, right? But then 75% needs to come from the salesperson or the team, or like it's got to be their goal, right? You can't just consistently be hammering them with your goal,
and
they got to want it.
You can't make somebody want. You know, it's like okay, you want to. Is that where we're at?
Yep, there you go.
You know?
Well, and dude, this could apply to sellers so easily, right? So if we're talking about sellers, like, are we clear on our expectations? Here's our plan. Here's what we're gonna do, right? Like this could be more like activity. Like I'm gonna do the marketing, but like it needs to not smell like dog piss too. So like you could help, right? But drive, man, it's got to come from the client. Like they've got to want to buy the house, they've got to want to sell the house, and if you're trying to drag them, it's exhausting, right? It's got to be, hey, I've got a goal of getting your home sold, yada yada, but it's really got to be there. I
heard an agent say like last week or the week before, where we were doing some content, and they were like, everybody asks like, when's the best time to sell? And it's like, when you need to.
When you need to, yes.
You know, those are the best sellers to have.
Absolutely.
Where it's like, okay, we're on fire. And now sometimes it's going to be because of death or divorce or like, you know, unfortunate circumstances. So that's not necessarily a walk in the park, but they're motivated because it's a necessity.
Absolutely.
You know, and even now, like I get fired up from a sense of, and this goes back to the drive from within, where it's like, okay, market shifted, selling season is over, but yada yada yada, and then it's like,
I don't
okay,
know what
now
that
what?
means.
You know, and I'm like, okay, well, if that's everybody's mind, like, let's see what we can do. Let's actually see what we can do to ramp up everything.
Yes.
My thing isn't to turtle. My thing is to attack.
Yeah. Well, and like when everyone else slows down, like that's your time to take market share.
Yes.
That's your time to stand out. That's your time to add a bunch of people to your database because everybody else got quiet. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, and the numbers every day, you know what NAR said, how many hundreds of thousands did they lose? Where it's like, okay, the herd is thinning.
Yeah, and it's your job to help create the demand and do the marketing and everything else to get people to see the opportunity of today, help them get attached to the vision, and then give them a roadmap to get there. And then
I love it. See, now I'm wanting to have a team meeting.
And lead. Yeah, there we go. Everybody in. Yep, it's awesome.
So what else you got going,
dude?
Chicago.
We got Chicago this week. So we got Chicago. Well, this coming week, and then I'm headed to South Carolina, I think. For the Carolinas, there you go, which will be phenomenal.
And then I got 30 under 30 Chicago.
So 30 under 30 Chicago, broker boardroom Chicago. Then I'm going to do some team business planning and goal setting for one of my clients in South Carolina, which will be amazing. Then I got a couple of clients flying here for a couple of hardcore, like one-on-one days, which is amazing. Then after that, we're going somewhere else that has left me. So yeah,
that's plenty. That's a lot.
We've got about 6 trips this month and a couple of those next month.
And see, what I love is like, okay, you go out everywhere, and then for me, my thing is I'm woodshedding.
Yeah, there you go. I get to pick up all the nuggets and bring it back, so it'll be great.
Oh, dude, I love it.
It'll be great.
Cool,
dude.
Let's go do it.
Go get it, brother.